Welcome back to Python tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to go over loops. All right, this is the point where Python becomes interesting, I guess. So we are going to go over loops, like I said, and we are going to discuss for loops, okay, in this section. All right, so you might be wondering, what do we use loops for? All right, so we use loops to iterate over every element in an object. All right, and we can use for loops to execute a block of code for every iteration. All right, so what does this mean? This means that when we have an object, we can go over every element in it. All right, for example, I have my list, right? And I know you know what lists are, right? So I have my list and I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so now I want to have access to each of these elements, right? So what do? I say for. Okay, this is the syntax. You can say for, right? I in my list. In is another keyword, right? So after using for, you use I. This I can be anything. I can change it to A, I can change it to whatever, but let's say I, right? Say for I in my list, right? That is for I for every element. This I is a placeholder for every element in this list, right? So you say for I in my list, which is what we have here, which is the variable, right? In my list, right? And you say have your colon, right? And an indentation. Look, there's an indentation here. If you're using Jupyter Notebook or any code editor, you will have this automatic indentation here, right? So let's continue. For I in my list, you say print, and you say I, right? Let's run this code. All right, so here you can see we have this 1, 2, 3. We have access to every element inside this object, right? So now to show you that you can use anything here, right? So you can say A. For A in my list, print A, right? So when I run this, you see, okay, so that is to say that what the placeholder here, it doesn't matter, right? So you can use this underscore and come here and use underscore and you run. Of course, you have access to it, right? So now, and to say, you can say, to make it fun, you can say hello, like you can say hello 10 times, like say hello, right? And when I run, of course, see hello, 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 right? So this is to say that you can use this to access every element in this list. Okay, so let's do something else, right? So let's say we want to get the even numbers from this list. Okay, so how do we do that? So we say for num, right? Let's say for every number, say num in my list, right? Sorry, in my list. And remember, you have this colon, right? For every num in my list, then use the if statement, right? So you say if num, then you say module 2, right? Of course, you know what this stands for, right? Module 2, that's the remainder. If for every number in this list is divided by 2, if the remainder is equal to 0, right? It's equal to 0. So what do we want Python to do? Say print. All right, so we are going to use the f string, right? F string, and say f, and say the f string, and say string again. I say want it to print. Let's say even number. All right, then I want to call in our num. Okay, so let's run. As you can see, when Python, hold on, let me quickly take this out so we can see what we are doing. All right, so I will run this. Okay, so we can see 1 is not an odd, it's not an even number, of course, so it's not an even. So we say even number is equal to 2, 4 is an even number, 6 is an even number, 8 is an even number, 10 is an even number, right? So how about if we want an odd number, right? So we can easily change this and say it's not equal to 0. Change this to odd, right? I say change this to odd and we'll run. Of course, we see when 2 divide by when 2 divides 1, of course it cannot, right? So it's an odd number, so we'll have 1. When 2 divides 2, it's an even number, so we don't have it here. When 2 divides 5, is an odd number, is here. So these are the odd numbers. All right, so let's say we want to have both odd numbers and even numbers. What do? That is where we have the else statement, right? The else statement. So we say else print. Remember, I can decide to write this here, but it's neater this way, right? So I can say else print, then we have our f string, say f, and we have our string, say yeah, odd number, right? All right, then we have our semicolon, then we have to call in these, say num. Okay, so here what do? Let's change this to even. Let's see, even. Okay, let me run. And of course, say odd number is equal to 1, even number is 2, odd number is 3, even number is 4. So this is how we basically iterate over every element in an object with Python loops, right? And this is actually the for loops, and this is the syntax, right? What you have to note in the syntax is the for loop, then we have the in, and we have the colon. That is it all, right? So it's pretty simple and pretty easy. We can use this to solve a lot of questions, which we will see later. So why don't we do something more fun, right? So to do that, let me call my list, and let's see my list. Let me run. Of course, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, to 10, right? So I want to add every element here, right? I want to add them together. I want to get the total sum, right? But before I get the total sum, I want to get something else, right? So let's do this. Let's say sum total is equal to 0, right? All right, so what do? We say for, let's say for I in my list, right? And we have our colon, which is the syntax. Then I say sum total, which is this, and I come here, is equal to sum total plus I, right? Plus I, right? So what am I saying here? I've initialized this sum total and I made it equal to 0. Now I'm saying that for sum total, that sum total is equal to sum total plus I. So now I can do this and just like take out this, right? I can just do this, like take out these two and just like do it here, right? It will work, right? But let's just, for the sake of simplicity, let's just do it the normal way. All right, so I'm saying that for sum total equals to sum total plus I. So what Python is going to do is that sum total is going to come here. Sum total is equal to 0, right? And then it will go here, right? I is equal to 1, so it adds I to 0, and I is equal to, and sum total is equal to 1, right? And now it comes back, loop over it again, and it gets to 2, so sum total is equal to 2. So let's do this and see our answer. Let's say print print sum total, right? So let me run this, and of course you see 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, and 255, right? So now, as you can see, it's not giving us the last total sum, and we want the total sum, right? So what we have to do is we take it out of the loop, right? If we take it out of the loop and now we run, of course we have 55, right? So this is how you actually get the total sum. If you don't want it like this, if you want to get it's like when it's iterating over every element, you just take it out of the loop. You take it inside the loop and you run. It comes like this. Then when you take it out of the loop, then you get the total. All right, so let's go to strings, right? So you can also iterate over strings, right? You can iterate over objects, right? Which are we have tuple, we have list, we have dictionary, and of course we can also go over strings. All right, so let's say my string, let's say is equal to hello world, right? And now I come down, then I say for letter in my string, right? Then I have our colon. Then I go down and I say, with proper indentation, of course, and I say print letter. Oh, print letter. Okay, and I run. Of course, you see, it iterates over every element here. It goes here and it gets H, it gets E, everything here, right? So this is how it is done, right? So now I can manipulate this string, right? I can decide not to say, okay, I don't want this variable, and I say, all right, let me just copy these and paste this here, and of course, let me take out this. Okay, pardon me. I love to copy and paste and cut out this place and have it here, and then yeah, so I can decide that I don't want to store this in a variable, so I can get it like this, and I do. Of course, it runs, right? And remember, this can be anything. It can be anything. I can say L, and here I say L. It is just a placeholder. All right, when I run, you see it gives us the answer, same thing. And I can say for L in hello world, print hi. Right, I can say print hi and hi, and let's do this. And of course, we have this hi in as long as many letters as we have here, right? So this is how it is actually done. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to iterate using the for loops to iterate over tuple and a dictionary. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I will see you on the next one.